Hi class. So I wanted to take a moment and just walk you through this course. It should be, for the most part, fairly easy to navigate, but I just wanted to point your attention to a few things so that we're all on the same page. So this is what your course will look like. On the course home, you'll have the announcements that populate periodically as I put stuff out, and the introduction. And I wanted to point out in the bottom right-hand corner, you have this course checklist here. When you click on that, then I have assigned dates to all of the assignments that are due that will be graded, and so this is a good place where you can reference that. And so you'll be able to see by unit which assignment is due and when that is due. I apologize that it's not in an easy calendar format, but this is just what eCollege provides us, so it's more of a list format, but it should give you some idea. And I believe that as the due date passes, then the item highlights red, the font turns red, and so that you can see when the next things are due and when the deadline has already passed. So that should be helpful to you. As we navigate in this course home section, the syllabus and course description are just the standard materials that are standard for the IO department. The schedule should be useful for you as well in order for you to see the objectives, readings, and assignments broken down week by week in kind of the syllabus format. This course calendar is something that I put together just in Google Calendar. It should be fairly accurate and easy to read. Most of the deadlines for assignments are going to be either on Wednesday or on Sundays. And then, of course, if there's a discussion with the initial post due on Wednesday, then it'll be your responsibility on Thursday through Sunday to facilitate the discussion board, to respond to people who have posted on your thread and to also post on other student threads as well. And so this should be a little bit easier, and I believe you can download this calendar or sync it with your own Google Calendar or Outlook if you'd like. For the instructor's virtual office, that's my office. If you have a question, you can feel free to email me. I'm also available by Skype. I'll give my credentials to you in an announcement. But if it's a question that you think the entire class would appreciate, then feel free to introduce yourself or to ask me in a more public forum, and I'll get to that. Now, if you post something and I haven't responded to you in 24 hours, say, go ahead and shoot me an email in case that slipped my radar. Something new that I'm trying this semester is a Twitter feed with the hashtag IO527. This would be the summer one, semester 2013. And it might be something fun. It's something that a lot of e-learning massively online open courses are playing around with, is assigning dedicated hashtags and having Twitter feeds. And so I thought I'd just embed something into our course here. So feel free, if you're on Twitter, to tweet about the course. Tell me what's going well, what you like or don't like, and we'll have fun with that. Introductions, I'm also trying something new if you are up for it. I have the traditional introduction questions. You can feel free to post at the bottom in the discussion thread, or you can try this voice thread, which we can see Amy has already contributed to, as have I. It's a discussion board that is a little more interactive, so feel free to sign up for an account with voice thread, which we'll be doing in week 4. We have a voice thread assignment that week, but if you want to get a jump start, go ahead and chime in here. We'd love to see you or hear from you in that way. The rest of these links are pretty standard. Links to the TCS library if you need to go into eReserves or access to library materials. I also have the rubric breakdowns for assignments. It should be clear enough that when you do an assignment, you shouldn't have any question what grade you're going to get. Just look over at the rubric and make sure that you have all the items checked off, and you should be good to go. There's also a description here about the capstone project, which you'll find interesting. I think it's a very fun project and a very applicable project. So this is kind of a rundown, and then I also have a capstone project discussion forum, which is optional, but if you want to post any of your experiences working with the capstone, then go ahead and post that here. Or any questions or concerns, a lot of troubleshooting. It's going to be new software that you're working with, and so feel free to reach out to your class members or to myself so we can get that interaction going. The units and pages are pretty straightforward. You guys have been in other classes in eCollege in this program, And so there's nothing new here. We'll have overviews, learning outcomes, a list of reading and assignments. One thing that I am changing is that for this course, you're not required to read every single one of these readings. Just select a couple that you find interesting and build off of that. And I list all of these so that in case you are interested, then you can explore the topic more fully. And every one of these readings they're pretty good. Dr. Clark and Mayer and Curtis Bonk, very good resources. And so if e-learning is something you're interested in, then you should have a vast sea of literature that you can dive right into without it being overwhelming. Discussion threads are going to be due with the initial post on Wednesdays, and then just curate the posts throughout the week after that. For this first unit, you will be playing around with infographics. If you've never seen an infographic, then I do have some good resources and tools. And one thing I want to emphasize, not just for this assignment, but for all the assignments in this course, be creative, be as willing to explore as you're able to. You're not going to be judged on the aesthetics. You're not going to be judged. I'm not going to judge your creativity. It's more your grades are just dependent on whether you do these assignments or not, and you'll get out of it what you put in. And so you play around with color schemes, be bold, and have fun. You're going to have a lot of assignments, infographics, blogs, prezzies, pull everywheres that you don't need to be worried about people judging your creativity necessarily. It's just more so that you can gain exposure to these tools and resources, and they should be very fun for you. Some of them will be more challenging than others, but yeah, just dive right in. So this first week will be fairly light. Next week we dive more into the differences between asynchronous and synchronous learning. So we're going to be working with GoToMeeting, creating blogs, and a YouTube channel if you don't have one already. And so yeah, for the most part, the units are pretty straightforward. So please read through all of the intros or the overviews this week if you can, just so you know what's expected of you. And then Unit 7, the only thing that's due in Unit 7 or Week 7 is the capstone project. But I would strongly exhort you not to put off working on the capstone until Week 6 or 7. I would encourage you to look over the description of the capstone during Week 1 so that you can get a map of where you want to go with that and what you want to do. And just don't put it off, because students tend to put that off until the end. And if there's any kind of troubleshooting or anything that they need to work through, just starting up at the last week might not give you enough time to complete all of that. And so we'll talk more about the capstone during this week and the coming weeks, but I just wanted to throw that out at you just to give you a fair warning. And so this is what the course looks like, and I'm very excited about this new semester and a new batch of students to work with. I think you guys are going to be excited about all of the new technologies that we're going to explore. I look forward to corresponding with you throughout the semester. Thanks.